Hey guys, RedPandaMining here. Hope you're doing well. Having a really great day. This video, I just unboxed the Iceriver KS1. I actually ordered this myself August 1st from Crypto Miner Bros. They said they had allocation for KS1s, KS2s, and even KS0s. And I said, you know what? I want to buy a KS1. So I bought this with my own money and it just came in. It is August 15th. So I placed the order August 1st, shipped out August 10th through DHL, and I didn't have to pay any duties or taxes or anything like that. And so here we are 5 days later, August 15th, I have it in my hands here. And I don't know if you guys saw in the unboxing in the beginning, it says open by customs. So customs did open the Iceriver shipping box here, which again, really nice foam padding here. Same with the KS2. You guys may have saw back in June 1st when I received that KS2. And yeah, it's been quite a roller coaster regarding, I guess, Kaspa mining recently, or maybe the past 6 months. It's been quite insane. There's been a lot of these, you know, ASIC miners coming out. Iceriver, the announcement of Bitmain KS3, Iceriver KS3, of course, and I think those are actually online now. Just a few things I want to go through in this video, guys, regarding, I guess, this KS1 and also just Kaspa mining in general, how the profitability has been going down and down and down, obviously every single day, basically, as more of these, you know, ASIC miners such as the Icerivers or maybe the Bitmain KS3s are coming online now and taking advantage of that profitability. But along with that, the Kaspa price also has been coming down, so that is obviously affecting the profitability of these ASIC miners right now. So actually, if we go to Hashrate.no right now, this KS1 that I have, which cost about $6,500 when I first ordered it on August 1st, is now making $72 a day, $70 to $72 a day. And I recall that I was taking some screenshots. This is from August 10th. Okay, August 10th, the KS1 was earning about $112. All right, now here we are today, this is August 14th, another screenshot I took. All right, $78. And now the next day, here we are, which I just showed you, the KS1 is now making $71, $72 a day. So it's going down and down and down because the network hash rate for Kaspa continues to climb. A lot of these miners are coming online, and so it seems like it's getting worse. Now, I guess the big question is whether or not Kaspa is going to go, you know, back up again. I'm not quite sure. Nobody knows. Kaspa has surprised us all this bear market essentially, but a lot of people are saying this could be another Cadena event. You know, when people were spending $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 for the, you know, KD5 or KD6 maxes or whatever gold shell ASICs for mining Cadena, those were a lot of money in the 5 digits. So are we going to repeat the same thing this time? You know, as of now, right? Everyone's saying that. Some people are saying yes, some people are saying no. Kaspa's different. So I don't know what else to say about that. But anyways, here we are today. I got one of these Iceriver KS1s, okay? And I'm gonna show you guys here the web GUI, all right? So show on the screen here. I'm not gonna show you my monitor here, but it's a pretty simple web GUI, exactly the same as, like, you know, Bitmain or something. It has the tabs on the left here. Mining settings, it's just where to change your mining pool and all that kind of stuff. Your IP settings, if you want to do that. User setting, this is just to change your password, and firmware upgrade. Now, actually, quick thing, Iceriver, I talked with them. You guys know I do have a KS2 as well. I was sent that on June 1st, and the only way I could connect to that miner is through the miner tool, the specific miner tool, which is run in Windows. There's no web GUI. I don't put in the IP address to log into it. Nothing like that. I have to use this miner tool. Now, if I want to have the web GUI compatibility, like be able to log into it, like the KS2 that I have, then I would need to ship back the KS2 because apparently the control board or something, it needs a total reflash of some sort, or actually potentially a new control board, as the KS2 that I have has a alpha version of their control board. So apparently there's been a new update to that, and so I would need a new control board essentially, which is pretty slick. So yeah, you guys can see, you know, miner runtime here, dashboard, hash rate, 30-minute hash rate. It's pretty much almost 1 terahash. Having about, I don't know, 2% pool rejection rate, but this is on 2 miners. And I can show you guys my 2 miners web GUI right now, mining to there. Okay, you guys can see the address. I don't care. I wanted to get some feedback from all of you. should I be mining on 2 miners or another mining pool, and or should I be mining on 2 miners into BTC? Or should I just keep mining Kaspa only and hodl it? Or should I mine Kaspa and into BTC and sell it? I want to know what your guys' thoughts are down below. I want to keep track of this, the return on initial investment, and just see when I could theoretically get that, you know, $6,500 back that I paid for this, okay? So, you know, I've done many of these types of tests before, breaking even on ASIC miners. I've done that with the Innosilicons. I've done that with the IB-Link BMK1, but that was also in a different time as well. That was in the beginning of the bull run, right? So kind of different story now. We're kind of like in this low time, kind of like people think like bear market time, or you look at the charts, it's kind of like we're in a, you know, long bull run essentially. But over the past couple of years, obviously down from Bitcoin 65, 70K highs, we are down. So let me know what strategy you guys want me to do on this. Maybe I'll have a straw poll in the description down below. You guys vote. How should I mine with this KS1? How do you guys think I should ROI or, you know, break even on this? Let me know your guys' thoughts down below. And scrolling back down to the web GUI, okay, you can see more information here. Okay, so the hash boards, there's apparently 2 hash boards. I am getting the temperatures of around 32 to 47 degrees Celsius. I'm guessing this is the back and this is the inlet. And so this is pretty good. Actually, I want to talk with you guys. The fan speed, okay, the fan speed I have changed myself, okay, so it is 35% right now, so you probably can't really hear it. I mean, you can probably hear it. It's not that bad. And actually, in another video, I'm gonna see if I can replace these, you know, these ASIC fans with these Noctua 120mm fans. See if that would make it, you know, a lot quieter, maybe cooler, I don't know. But anyways, at 100% fan, the KS1 would use about 650 watts, and I can show you that difference right now. So I'm getting about 586 watts. Okay, this is at 35% fan speed. So if we want to change it, it's very easy to do. So if I did 100, okay, and I hit save, okay, this is going to change right away. And you guys are going to hear it. Okay, now it's ramping up. You can see the power consumption is now going up from like 585 to 650 now. Look at that. And now this Iceriver is way louder, obviously because I'm running the fans at 100. But this was stock, okay? I didn't change any settings. When I turned it on initially, it was running at 600 and, you know, 60 watts, 62 watts now. 662 watts, and the fans were at 100. So the fans alone are taking like 80 watts or something like that. All right, my ears are dying. I'm gonna put this back. Let's go to 35. I'm gonna hit save. Okay. All right. Oh no, I forgot to click this. You have to click on this button, and then you can change it and then save. There we go. Oh my god, those are so loud. I'm actually, I need to find, with these Noctua fans that I have, like the slim ones. I don't know if I should really use the slim ones or the, you know, regular, you know, the thicker 120mm fans. But anyways, I'm looking for longer, I guess, extender, 3-pin extenders. Because these cables that go into the control board are quite long. So yeah, I know that these wouldn't fit. So I was going to do that in this video, but I realized I don't have the extenders. I do have splitters. But I think I should just, I don't know, run extender cables on these. So that'll be for another video. But anyways, yeah, guys, this KS1, it's going. It's making about $70 a day right now, right? Obviously, that's going to change because, right, let's go through now the Kaspa network hash rate. It's almost 9 petahash, all right? And we did talk about this. We did predict roughly around how many units, you know, how many of these Iceriver's or, you know, Bitmain KS3s that are now coming online. The network hash rate is now 9 petahash. And I think, you know, it's probably going to get a lot worse. It will obviously get worse, okay? So depending on the price of Kaspa, all right, and the difficulty of Kaspa for mining it, it is going to be most likely a lot less profitable than what you are seeing now. Even like when you go to hashrate.no, you click on the Bitmain KS3. When you click on the ASICs, you know, their devices here, click on ASICs and then the Bitmain KS3. They even say here, this ASIC is estimated to be delivered the end of August and earnings will be lower than when delivery starts. So it's very true, because every single day I have been watching this. The profitability of the KS3 used to be about what? Used to be like what, $3,000 a day, and now it's 622. So now, right, as more of these come online, it's going to get worse and worse, okay? Unless the price decides to go up and up and up, which we're kind of going in a downward price pressure right now here. I'm not a trader or anything, but this is what's been happening over the past week, okay? So interesting time, right? Interesting time for those that, you know, I know a lot of you guys are bought in the KS zeros, right? Those have been a lot more prominent for a lot of people because they're a lot more, I guess, in a way, attainable. And also Iceriver did price those pretty good, in my opinion. Well, at the time when they were, I think initially it was $2,000, and then they lowered it to $1,500, and now it's $1,000, and then now $700. So the price has been coming down and down and down, and I guess the first batch of the KS zeros, a lot of those guys have already got their money back. So same thing that goes with, I guess, generally with buying ASICs when they are in the first batch. More than likely, you will get your money back. I have done that in previous, bunch of previous ASICs. I have an ASIC playlist. You guys can watch a lot of my ASIC videos there, but a lot of my ASICs that I've, you know, gotten first batches of have ROI'd essentially, or break evens in the first couple months. And so with this KS1, right, I want you guys to vote down below. How should I, you know, keep track of the Kaspa that this, you know, that this thing is mining, and see if I will either, you know, break even earlier by going into BTC, or break even by hodling the Kaspa that this thing is mining, getting the yields now before it gets worse, and then just wait for Kaspa to price appreciate in order to break even on this. But I would love to know what you guys think. And actually, this KS1 still has the plastic. This still has the plastic on it. And actually, this is very reminiscent of the KS2. My KS2, when I first received it, also had plastic everywhere as well. Like, it was like, you know, obviously brand new packaging and stuff. So I thought that to be, I guess that's a nice touch. It is a pain to take this off, but also it's good to know, right? It's good to know that this has some plastic protectant here. And it doesn't seem like it was pre-mined or anything. There wasn't any dirt or anything on the fans. So, or maybe it could have ran for a couple days, but it wasn't like months, like, you know, maybe what like Bitmain does. So I know for a fact that we have seen KS3s on the network right now, and those KS3s are very apparent on like Kaspa-Pool, and you can see it on the miners tab. Like, you can literally see, you know, which miners are mining, how much hash rate they have. And so, yeah, you know, it's a lot of KS3s and are about to come online, and it's going to render this, you know, even the KS1 I have, a lot less profitable in a sense. And to go with that, the Kaspa emission schedule is also coming down as well, right? Every single month. And about in a year, it's basically a halving, right? Every year, right? The Kaspa's emission schedule, if you guys haven't seen that, just Google it. It's on the Kaspa's website. There is a emission schedule for Kaspa, and it is getting worse and worse and worse. So just due diligence. I'm not, you know, I'm just laying out all the risks here. You know, I don't want to persuade anyone to buy one of these things unless you believe in Kaspa and you think it's going to price appreciate in the future. That's really the ultimate strategy, the ultimate thought process regarding these Iceriver ASICs, right? And everyone that has bought maybe the KS zeros, which are really, you know, which are really low power, by the way. The KS zeros are extremely low power. Everyone knows they're like 65 watts or something like that. So this, yeah, I would have to say, you know, for people that have it at home or maybe have it running on solar, it's basically free. So it was, you know, at one point making $20 a day, $25 a day, but now it's like $6 a day or $7 a day. And yeah, it's gonna get worse unless the Kaspa price decides to go up. But as of right now, right, everyone that has been following the profitability of these things the KS zeros, all the Icerivers. It's just been going down and down and down because the network hash rate has been constantly going up and up and up. Okay, so all right guys, that's it for this video. I want to know your guys' thoughts. Please do the straw poll down below. I'll do whatever is voted, and we'll keep track of the profitability of this. I have it going to its own Kaspa wallet, and yeah, that's it. All right, stay tuned guys. I'm gonna try these Noctua fans and see if this works on getting this thing quieter, because the temps are pretty low in my opinion. I don't know if you guys think it's low or not. Let me know. But yeah, look at that. It's like 34 degrees, 32, 45, and 48 degrees Celsius. So I think the max temperature these things can do is 70, but I guess time will tell. All right, time will tell. And also if the hash rate is going to be stable or not at these temperatures. I will keep track of that. All right, I'll see you all in the next video. Have a good one. Let me know your thoughts. Peace out.